Lucky you are watching this video because our team is picking the best action RPG game that has an English version. But please note, some of the game are not officially released yet and still on early access. But surely this new RPG game will release globally. Remember to watch this video until the end and remember to like this video and help us reach 200 likes. Thanks. Top 10 best action RPG games with fast and dynamic combat. Exciting hack and slash ARPG games mobile. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. Blade of God X. Blade of God X, it's a pleasure to have a new action RPG game with a high quality graphic games on mobile platforms, but actually you can play this game on PC as well within the same account on mobile, which means this is a new cross-platform ARPG. It's been a long time since we got so many updates. The graphics have the most progress with a cool skill showcase. It feels like I play a Dark Souls mobile or Souls-like mobile game. If you love to play a game with a dark fantasy base, I would 100% suggest you to play it. The story, the music, the enemies design absolutely has dark vibes at all. The combat mechanism is really attractive and hardcore. We need to maintain the energy for doing any kind of action like attacking, dodging, and even unleashing the skill. Even I noticed the developer has reduced the enemy's strength, but the difficulty level is still challenging. The boss will get triggered when their HP reach a lower point, trying to keep the best timing to counter the enemy's heavy damage. It will help you a lot to survive. Blade of God X is the best graphic hack and slash ARPG games for mobile. Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves. This game is absolutely phenomenal. I really love how the game comes perfectly on mobile. Seriously, with these high graphic action RPG games, the developer successfully making this game is really playable on mid-range phones. It's a pretty insane achievement. I really love how the combat art style is full of action with so many variations of combos that we can do. In fact, the action will turn our condition into advantage when we master the counter-attack action, avoid action, and also switching the hero on the right timing will boost our winning chance against the monster. The game is full of voiceover, which is pretty fun and adorable. It blends perfectly with the character motion capture. The gameplay of Wuthering Waves is we can explore the new open world RPG by climbing the wall, jumping from a higher cliff, or even using a glider. From this point of view, you will realize how beautiful the world is and how wide the world that we can explore. I really love we can catch a monster and we can transform ourselves into a different creatures that we call with Echo. Each of the Echo will have their own strength that we need to learn. Wuthering Waves is the best Genshin Impact killer for mobile, with a better game's performance on mobile and become the best RPG games for Android and iOS. Metal Mutation. Metal Mutation. I know some players prefer to play RPG that have a top-down view perspective, so they can see the wider area from this point of view, which will help us easily anticipate the incoming attacks from any directions. It will help our vision a lot actually. Probably this game is one of the best small-size RPG hack and slash for mobile. With less than 1 GB, we have a great combat style game. No wonder the game's genre is a roguelike game where the story is not really important, but the main point is on the action gameplay. The combat mechanism of Metal Mutation is the hero will have a mana points to unleash every single skill. The higher skill damage mostly will consume more MP, so we really need to maintain the mana consumption to be ready facing the boss monster on the final stage. After we defeat him, we will able to pick a random abilities to strengthen up our hero. Switching the hero is possible to do in a certain second. Metal Mutation is one of the best hack and slash action RPG games for Android. Blade X Odyssey. Blade X Odyssey. Even this game is getting forgotten, but I would like to recommend it to players who want to play a realistic RPG rather than an anime style. The flashy and how shiny the armor looks so gorgeous, especially since we can raise up the graphic setting into maximum level, will make the visual become better. Honestly, the game has a very little features, only 3 dungeons we can do for a daily routine for grinding. The guild features needs more optimization. For example, we can invite the other guildmate to play together in guild raid because the enemy's level is way too high than ours. The gameplay of Blade X Odyssey is purely dungeon-based ARPG games where we should get into the portal to conquer the story mode game. The combat mechanism is really unique, which we need to collect the red orb to fill up the ultimate skill. It will grant the whole power significantly and deal massive damage to the monster. This is the best RPG games for Android and iOS. Solo Leveling Arise. Solo Leveling Arise after they achieve huge success from a webtoon series. Then finally we are able to control the characters by playing a game on mobile platforms. Even on the first game's launch, the developer seems not prepared yet. No wonder we all see how many bugs that we can easily find through the gameplay, like we cannot even move the hero when we just started the game. It's quite tricky to understand how to play it then. But overall, I would like to suggest it for players who love an action anime RPG games. The combat mechanisms lets the player pick another two heroes on our side. We can stay relaxing while those allies are busy dealing the enemies. Actually, I don't know if the players love to play an auto game or not, because we can pick 3 different modes to play the game, which are no autoplay RPG, semi-auto and fully auto, but we are only able to unlock these features when we reach a certain stage. Are you guys still playing this game? Hades Mobile. Hades Mobile, one of the most beautiful art style of RPG. Just to let you know, this game was made for PC games before and now it's ported perfectly for mobile. I'm sure any kind of devices will be able to handle it smoothly. The game doesn't have any storyline at all, it's focusing on the action. We only had a small dialogue to represent the Greek gods mythology on every main NPC. The combat mechanism lets the player unleash their skill continuously without spending any energy, while in the combat seems pretty easy because the aim assist will help us on locking the target within the closest range area. So we only need to tap the attack button randomly and lets the hero decide which enemy will become a target. The skill showcase is really flashy in color, such a great hack and slash game RPG with a top-down view camera angle. Kingdom the Blood. Kingdom the Blood. As a samurai fan, I really love how this game really represents a samurai game base, especially the movement and how we use the katana sword to slash the enemy. But actually we will not face the other samurai as our enemy, but mostly the zombies will come to us frequently than the human. The game has a hardcore visual, but you can turn off the blood effect so we can play it way more comfortably. The gameplay of Kingdom the Blade is we can use the heavy sword damage by using the SP energy. It will slightly increase continuously in a few seconds. Upgrading the equipment will be the best way to increase your power. Try to collect the talisman as a material. Combine it with the same type will increase your material level. Then we can forge weapon as our level gets higher. So we must keep grinding the level first by clearing the stage level. Overall, I feel this game has a high level difficulty. We cannot easily avoid any attacks. Most of the enemy has an unpredictable action, especially when we face the boss stages. His power, durability and speed is beyond our strength. Always trying to enhance your power before getting into the battlefield. This is the best of action RPG hack and slash with a samurai sword based gameplay for mobile. Astra Knights of Veda. Astra Knights of Veda. Be ready for the best adventure RPG games that we can totally enjoy the new experience of 2D perspective with a better graphics. Can you imagine? The game size is really huge. It's about 9 GB in total, so you must be ready to notice before you start downloading the game. But let me tell you why this game is really worth playing. It's because we will get a full character voiceover, and also the city seems too alive. There's a ton of NPC walking around, but also we can find the other players there, which means this RPG is a multiplayer. So we can go into the combat, we can play together with our friends or play it solo. Playing solo is a good choice as well because we will have another allies that we can switch between. Of course, it's a good way to adjust our combat style. We can hold down the skill to unleash the heavy damage. Dodge and running is a really important action we can do as well. I love the game's visual style, it reminds me of a vanillaware game. Star Havoc. Star Havoc. I'm sure many of you have never seen this game because this game is on beta testing only for a few days, which not many YouTubers notice about it, but trust me, this game is worth playing when it releases globally. The character design is really futuristic. All of the hero has a robotic form with a gun as their primary weapons. Anyway, while we are in the combat, we can switch the gun when we have collected the gun in a certain spot. The gun will represent how strong our damage will be. The gameplay of Star Havoc is a roguelike RPG game base, which means we can get new abilities and fight against a lot of enemies at once. The enemy will come with a massive numbers that we cannot control. Always try to make a space because our main weapon needs a long range area to hit. While in the lobby, we can freely move our hero and interact with the NPC there and upgrade our hero to grant the power and ready into the battle. When we face the last boss, you can turn your hero into a robotic form and it will boost your power significantly on any status. This is the best RPG game for Android and iOS. Great game. Great game. As a Dark Souls fan, I was finally surprised by another great Soul-like games mobile coming up. The combat mechanism is truly magnificent, but I will explain it later. Let me focus on the ambience first. It has a dark fantasy vibes. The enemy that we'll face is mostly a skeleton with a dark creatures monster with a different weapon they will hold. The combat mechanisms are pretty dynamic and fast. Anticipate and timings are the key to kill every single monster. Even though we only face the monster in 1 versus 1 battle, but their power is quite massive, with his durability and his strength that we cannot underestimate. They will have their unique skill like a buff skill to boost our speed, strength and mobility. Try to survive by unleashing the recovery healing skill. But of course, dash action will become the most important button you should learn and master. Great game has a smooth gameplay. We can even move our hero while launching an attack. It will help us a lot on avoiding any strikes by the enemy. The graphics are one of the best action RPGs for mobile. I would rate 9 to 10 for the gameplay and graphics anyways. Dark and Darker Mobile. Bonus Dark and Darker Mobile. I wonder how many players will play this game when it releases globally. Actually, this game has a dark fantasy vibe games, but I reckon the people would like it or not because it's not fully an action hack and slash games genre. But it also has a competitive gameplay which is we should survive and become the last hero standing. So we will not get any storyline at all even since the game starts. But the exciting point is we can invite the other players to join and make a room in one match. So our enemy is not only the player, but the monster is our enemy as well. The combat mechanism of Dark and Darker Mobile is we can block the enemy strike by using our shield and make a counter then. We can pick a different rule style which are Barbarian, Ranger, Wizard, Cleric and Fighter. These all are the best game RPG games for Android and iOS that I'm sure all players would love to play, especially since it has an English version. Remember to like this video and help this channel grow by tapping the like button while you are watching it. See you in the next video. Thanks.